What happens to traditional kinship systems with modernization? Imagine a world where family trees are no longer just about bloodlines but also about social bonds and choices. That's what we see happening as societies change and grow. Traditional kinship systems are like the blueprint for how people understand their family and social roles. They often focus on extended families, clans, and shared responsibilities that tie communities together. But as modernization spreads, these old patterns start to shift. One big change is the move from large extended families to smaller nuclear families. Urban living, jobs in different cities, and education make it harder to stay close to all relatives. People tend to live with just parents and children, which means less daily contact with grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. This shift affects how kinship ties are maintained and how family support works. Another change is how authority within families evolves. In traditional systems, elders usually made decisions and held authority. Modernization encourages individual choice, so young people often pick their own partners instead of following arranged marriages. Women now have more access to education and jobs, which shifts family roles and decision-making power. This change can lead to more equal relationships within families but also alters traditional authority lines. Kinship meanings also expand beyond just biological ties. Friendships and social bonds can now be seen as kin-like, especially when traditional ties are strained or broken. New reproductive technologies like surrogacy and adoption challenge old ideas about parenthood and family membership. People are creating families based on social and personal choices, not just biology. Despite these shifts, many traditional kinship practices still exist. For example, some societies keep their inheritance rules based on lineage or clan membership. These practices often adapt to fit modern life but remain as important for cultural identity and mutual support. Modernization also leads to new family forms. Blended families, same-sex partnerships recognized as kin, and families created through surrogacy or adoption are becoming more common. These new arrangements show how kinship is actively built through daily interactions and social norms, not just biology. In some places, kinship still influences social organization, land rights, and leadership roles, even as societies modernize. For example, in certain cultures, clans or lineages continue to determine who leads or owns land. So, what happens to traditional kinship systems with modernization? They don't just disappear. Instead, they change, adapt, and sometimes blend with new ideas. Families become smaller and more flexible, roles shift, and kinship expands beyond blood ties. It's like a dance between old traditions and new ways of living, creating a mix that reflects today's diverse social landscape.